Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Newsgram. We all have unique skills and abilities, but what if they were super strengths? Our unique abilities were our superpower. Imagine finding yourself in a world where all of that was possible, a world with a lot more than meets the eye. And in that world, all these things are possible. Speaking of superpowers, when I was very young, I wanted to be invisible. I thought it would be so cool to be able to go anywhere without being seen. Probably because I was a teenage boy and there were girls' locker rooms to be explored. But as I grew up, my interests became much more sophisticated. Invisibility changed to the ability to fly. Because why not? Anyway, over the years, I've given this a lot of thought. Now I think if I could have any superpower, it would definitely be super strength. My hero has always been Spider-Man, and you can do a lot of good with Spidey strength. But I digress. Athanasios Panayotou lives in the city of Lorne in Northern Ireland. It's a city very much like the one you live in, a place where young people dream about being a superhero or having superpowers, or what they would do with superpowers if they had them. Right around the age of 17, he became enthralled with the superhero fantasy.
I've always wanted to make my own kind of superhero kind of universe, and from a very young age, like 16, 17, I had illustrations of these characters that I was doing, and I really wanted to write the stories as if they were like the comic books, and I ended up making it into a novel.
His novel is now a reality, and it's called Fog, Volume 1, Chaos in Quantum City, and it's just the beginning. He calls it Volume 1 because there are definitely plans to expand this universe. In fact, Volume 2 is already written, it's just not published yet. But for now, let's focus on Volume 1.
It's set in Ireland. There's a lot of history I've fabricated in between present day and 2183 to have things different and change, and new cities that have appeared. I like to say that it's set in Galway, but it's like a fictional version of Galway.
So, this gritty take on the superhero genre is set on the west coast of Ireland, in the fictional city of Quantum.
Quantum City is kind of like a semi-utopian, the other half's dystopian. It's not all good, and there's always people plotting behind the scenes, and these characters kind of just get thrown into the mix and have to figure out what's going on and how they're going to use their abilities.
So Nathan, Karis, Felix, and Natasha are tasked with defeating the threats that plague them in Quantum City. Threats like Elliot.
He's the one that's stirring the pot. He is causing grief and hindering. He's a hindrance. He's got his own plan in the works and things he wants to do, and they're not morally good. So Elliot's very upper class, stereotypical kind of snob. He's very intelligent, and he can be a bit unhinged.
There's humor, suspense, revenge, and of course superpowers. But not everyone uses their unique abilities for good. How did they even get their abilities? Was it something they wanted, or was it something thrust upon them? The answers are all in the book, but here's the deal. You can't just have abilities. You have to have a good story. And this book does have that. A good story, some good characters. In fact, character development is one of Ethan's superpowers.
Yeah, definitely. I really do love character development, and the characters definitely aren't the same as they were at the start of the book than they are at the end of the book. I really had a lot of fun with their individual journeys and like how they change. I really do love the change in character development. Oh, I love it.
The lives of these characters are completely changed as they acquire their special abilities and then work hard to take responsibility for them. And like I mentioned, not everyone uses them for good. In one pivotal scene, Karis infiltrates Elliot's company using her thorn-based abilities.
Karis goes on a bit of a rampage. She goes after the company that wronged her, and she just kind of lets all hell set loose. There's like a pinnacle moment that happens there where things happen. I'm not going to spoil, but I just have a lot of fun writing her as a character and how she deals with situations.
Her night doesn't necessarily go as planned, but she does find someone she thought was dead. What? I know, you're confused, but you won't be when you crack open your copy of Fog. Speaking of missions,
if someone enjoys the story, I feel like I've done my mission. If I've made someone happy, that's all that matters.
not a bad mission at all. Download your copy of Volume 1, Chaos in Quantum City, from Barnes & Noble, Amazon, or all the places where you like to buy books. And hurry up about it. You don't want to hear people talking about Volume 2 before you've had a chance to finish Volume 1. There are links in the show's description if you need them. And that will do it for this Irish superpower edition of Newsgram from webtalkradio.com.